It's 4:32 in the morning and I can't sleep.
Testimonials like this one are pretty common on YouTube. They're talking about Adderall. 3 pills a day, 90 pills a month, 1,080 a year. That's the prescription this Grand Rapids man says he's gotten from his doctor. And he says it's not enough.
I mean, sometimes I burn through a month's prescription in 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks.
Running out early isn't fun.
It's rough. I mean, it's definitely harder. You're back to point A. You know, you're back to where you were.
Aside from the energy, Adderall is intended to increase dopamine levels in our bodies. That's the chemical in our brains in charge of reward-driven learning and motivation. Adderall and stimulant usage isn't anything new, but in a day and age where work and school are as competitive as ever, a leg up is looked at as a necessity, and it's making college campuses turn into makeshift pharmacies.
It just gives me an explosion of energy that I haven't had before.
This area college student doesn't want to be identified. He says he's never been diagnosed with ADHD, but says he takes Adderall without a prescription to stay awake and study.
I could just remember like being probably the most productive ever. I can just remember just sitting in a corner, just zoning out everything around me and just hammering out a 30-page paper.
So how does a college kid without a prescription get a hold of the meds?
I'm having trouble studying. Is there anybody you know who has Adderalls that can help me out?
It's just peer-to-peer. You ask a friend, they can direct you maybe a phone call or a text away.
Yeah.
And just like any product, demand influences price. Our student says buying a pill in the middle of the semester could cost a couple bucks. Get to finals week?
Pill prices go up from anywhere from like $2 to like $7 to $8. People are really just like trying to get that stuff.
My daughter went away to college and she calls me back and says, "What's Adderall?" You know, it's like everywhere.
Dr. Alex Masterson works in child psychiatry. He sees plenty of cases involving ADHD and Adderall.
It's something that seems to make the playing field level.
Now, there's no caffeine in Adderall, but Dr. Masterson says there's enough energy in one pill to equal 20 cups of coffee. The catch is you don't get any of the jitters or nasty little side effects of drinking that much coffee. So you get all the great stuff about caffeine, but none of the side effects. You see why kids like it so much. And the source of the problem could be the ease of getting the drug. Remember our college student who said it's just a phone call away? It's almost as easy at the doctor's office, where our ADHD patient says he just had to fill out a 2-page questionnaire to get diagnosed.
The root of a lot of the questions were to do with your attention span and your focus.
If you knew how to answer in a way that would get you the medicine.
Yes.
Dr. Masterson compares the recreational use of the drug to cocaine in its early legal days.
Stimulant medications like Adderall differ from what we know of street speed or even cocaine in that you don't really get euphoric from Adderall. You get a stimulated effect and you can focus and all that. That's the good news. Well, the bad news is that the medication changes your body.
And the worst changes come not while you're taking Adderall, but once you stop. Like any stimulant, you can go through withdrawals if you stop taking the drug regularly once you started. That can lead to even bigger psychological problems.
I don't think it's perceived as dangerous. I think it's perceived as safe and not a problem. And that's where the problem becomes, because the outcomes can be really terrible. And it can precipitate psychiatric problems, it can precipitate depression.
But the diagnoses are still being made, and Adderall is still one of the easiest drugs to get your hands on. And nobody plans on stopping.
Has it made college easier?
Yeah, I wish I could have had it through high school.
Do you think you could do your job without Adderall?
Not near as good as I do. I know that it's something that I need.
Mitch Fick, Fox 17 News.